So finally, now that you know the basics of email marketing, well, I know we're going to be covering more email marketing and other modules and other stuff, courtesy of Digital Marketer. Really great stuff. Ryan Deese has some really amazing frameworks. I take a lot from it, but like I said, mix and match, learn multiple frameworks, and then figure out what works best for you. And you gotta like I said, there are universal laws to digital marketing, multiple ways to get the same results. You just have to know the hacks, the laws, small little hacks, and learn the little cheats, like just like algebra, in order to get the desired result or hypothesis, if we want to take it into the science route. But autopilot sells, and this is how to build an automated marketing machine. So what this is covering is about email marketing specifically, which is typically, which is like, a series of emails. Like we covered, there could be a general 8 sequence email that gets that is sent out through the duration of a whole month, maybe two emails a week that cover a different part of the buyer's journey. And then they click through to a specific part because that's where they're interested in, and then they get funneled into a smaller or more focused series of content that is more geared towards the product or service that they're interested in. So this is going to show you how to automate that and how to really utilize that to your advantage, especially when you go into creating those re-engagement and engagement series and the all of the different types of series that come with those smaller segments of people, of users you're trying to convert. So so according to this 3-part email series consistently doubles sales. So it's no surprise that email is an easy way to increase your conversions for a company. It keeps you relevant to your current audience, and it allows you to continuously develop a relationship and build rapport, and to stay top of mind with your clients. So your clients or subscribers, even if they're just prospects, it allows you to gain their trust and allows them to really begin to see you as the go-to authority in your market. So this type of content is just as important as social media, LinkedIn, YouTube, any other type of content. Email is just important. Mm-hmm. So so typically it runs like a machine. We're trying to get them to the yes. The ascension is everything, the middle to the bottom of the funnel. Engagement is at the top of the funnel. How do you attract the right customer? How do you funnel them? How do you funnel them in? Segment them? How do you educate them? And then eventually lead them into making a purchase and converting and becoming a customer. So, well, the plan is pretty simple, and these are the types of emails that you would traditionally send within these segments in order to really get them to convert. First is indoctrinate. You want to teach them who you are, or if it's a re-engagement email, because it's the very bottom, and what you do is you move back to the indoctrinate stage once you go through the whole process. Once they go through the whole process, and if they still haven't bought, you put them back at the very top, back into the generalized funnel, and try to move them down the segments all over again, because you want to continue to provide them with value. But first, you indoctrinate them. You tell them who you are. You establish a relationship, and you provide them with value. Always provide them with value with every single step. Always provide them with value. And that's whether you're re-engaging or trying to win them back. If they unsubscribed, or they're a former client and you're trying to sell them a new product or service, that also goes in line with indoctrinating. Introducing a new product, introducing anything that they do not know about, that they're cold to.
Mm-hmm.
That's what indoctrinate email is about. The engagement email, the main purpose is to get them to buy, right? You want them to engage, and sometimes it's a lead magnet. Sometimes it's something that you're trying to just kind of push them into making a conversion or getting more information or booking a call so that they could buy something from you. But typically engagement is always geared towards, it could be a slight nudge, or it could be a direct, hey, here's an offer, redeem it now, limited time, there's only a few books left. Oh, get yours now for 99 cents. Do it before it's too late. Yada yada yada.
Mm-hmm.
That's an engagement email. An ascension email is to get them to buy more. So like in an engagement email, let's say like you offer something for pretty cheap and it is like that 99-cent lead magnet, and you want them to buy more from you, or you're trying to upsell them. So let's say, they buy, one service, but another service that will complement the service that they just bought. And you're like, well, we typically don't want to sell SEO without offering them some form of PPC. So you kind of try to bundle that in, or you try to upsell that, saying that you get everything with SEO, but you can get PPC at a discount if you sign up through this offer, through this email. That would be considered an ascension email, because you're adding on to the offer that was initially presented in the engagement email. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like elevating the offer ascension, because it's taking what was already there and just making it more valuable. So making it more appealing and making it more desirable. And usually it's good to send an ascension email after they've seen some results from the previous product that they purchased from you. The timing is everything with emails. You gotta want to make sure that your timing is precise. And sometimes a properly timed email will mean a really big sale. So ascension emails, timing is everything. So let's say, like I said, they might, SEO is really slow. It's probably a really bad example, but let's say they start ranking for some keywords and they're actually doing really good and showing up on, starting to rank up, and their trust and domain scores are going up. And, they have a landing page that's really good, and they got a really good product that's converting really well, but they can convert more if they actually were able to move to the top of the search marketing query. An ascension email, sending out an ascension email for these types of clients, those that are seeing results, those who have purchased SEO and who are probably seeing results after 6 months. So like sending them an ascension email 6 months, which is traditionally how long it takes for Google to recognize keywords on your website after indexing it so many times, given that you code it right and don't use all of that janky bad code and blocks and crap, that really make it hard for those crawlers to understand your website. Then they'll start to see results. Send out an ascension email 6 months later talking about, hey, we've been looking at your, let's say, and usually if you are doing SEO for your client and you're looking at their analytics, you're going to be reporting on it rather often. I can assume if you're a good agency, you're going to be creating reports and reporting to whoever you're working for. You can say something like, hey, I've noticed something on your account, or like, I've noticed it's been a while since we've talked about your search engine optimization. How are you liking it so far? These are the results we've been kind of seeing. This is like, maybe we can consider a pay-per-click strategy to increase your conversions. You can automate that. So you can look at all your clients and find the ones that are, segment the ones that are seeing results after 6 months period of SEO, and you're seeing some conversions through their, set up some SMART goals, set up those conversions, set up those the tags and tag manager, get those conversions and those events triggered, and then segment those customers into this email stream and upsell them on some PPC, because you can say, if you think that those conversions are good, wait till you put a little bit of ad spend behind it and efficiently and cost effectively increase your conversions and make a higher ROI.
Mm-hmm.
It's simple, right? So Ascension is probably the most, probably is probably the most important part of this whole email series, because Ascension is always like the upsell and to broaden the package and really make the digital marketing strategies more complex. And that's what we want. Everyone says, like, keep it simple, don't overcomplicate things. And yeah, you want to keep things simple, but if you want to keep them really, really simple, but you want to make sure that it's very systematic and that you're following a reliable method that is that you can follow and experiment with. If you don't have a reliable experiment, you can't validate the results. So make sure that whatever process you create in developing your email series or any type of campaign, universal rules of digital marketing, make sure that you build a reliable system where the metrics will make sense, that things that you test, emails that you test, subject lines that you A/B test, that it's all systematic and there's always a control that is able to keep that data right where you want it.
Mm-hmm.
Segmenting, just like I said, learn what they want to buy next. That's like what I said, going through all of your clients and going through the people in your email series, or finding and identifying the people that are after 6 months are actually seeing good results or possibly seeing conversions through the setup of the tags and SMART goals and the events and triggers. And the people that are seeing some positive results who could benefit from PPC. So, I mean, ultimately at the end of the day, the most important thing that you should be doing for a client is trying to help them. And if they're getting some, modest results from SEO after 6 months, I think it's your duty and obligation to offer them a strategy that can enhance and give them more, than what they initially signed up for. And if they see that you can do that, then they're going to know that they can trust you wholeheartedly, have more faith than anything in your agency, and then even more so in recommending you to others and spreading word of mouth and spreading, your name, word of mouth, good PR, publicity. That is what you want, and that should be your goal. Even though new media is in the game and is sort of dominating the industry right now, traditional means of media will always be there, and that's what set the law, the precedent for all things marketing. So it's always good to go back to the basics when you don't know where to move next. So segment your audiences, make sure you know what works for them and what has been working. Make sure to can segment them off, so that way you can go back to the ascension stage and ascend them into indoctrinate them into a new product. Usually the way this goes is like a cycle. Like in this machine, things can cycle up and down, right? Everything can cycle up and down. So you can move them from the indoctrination. So depending on where they're at in their customer journey, they can go straight down into being segmented, or go straight down into being ascended, because like they might already be doing something that's really successful and you just want to add value to it. And that would be typically an ascension email. Maybe they already have a kick-ass website and their website is already generating conversions, and they come to you because they just want to figure out a way to double their ROI. And you think PPC is the best way to do it for their market. So you can go ahead and offer that to them within an ascension email. Bam. Then you got a new deal that way. As long as you're focused on helping them and you can legitimately read the data and understand. Sometimes a lot of clients don't set up their accounts right, and you got to basically clean up their mess for them. Trust me, I know, I've done it myself. Some of these things are really, they don't understand. And people got to understand, digital marketing is so technical and it's very tedious, and it takes a lot of time to get things right and to know what you are doing. Luckily
Mhm.
to me, it feels like second nature. Not to everyone else, it doesn't. But
Yeah.
what is it? That's why I'm here teaching Rubio. Uh, you have to really understand the behavior of the experiment and the behavior of the user as they go through your experiment. You got to think of them as the mice in the maze, but they aren't mice in the maze. They're mice in the maze that you're really wanting to help. So they're not, you get what I mean. So
Mhm.
we're trying to really understand the experiment so that way we can produce a better result and innovate on the machine that we built. So thinking of it as a machine, what do you do with the machine? Does technology just stand still once you build it? Do you just keep doing the same thing once it's created? No, you innovate upon it, you build upon it, you make it better. So understanding how to use these emails and go through them and how to filter them up and down the cycle is, is going to save you money. It's going to reduce your marketing budget costs, and it's ultimately going to get you the results you want, because you're actually taking the time to set up the experiment, set up the segments, understand the needs of your user, and utilizing that to give them what's most important. So, stage one, indoctrination emails. This is pretty easy. This is just the very beginning. And this is part of this is what I incorporated in my momentum-based branding framework. Understanding who you are, what you stand for, why you're different, what they should expect from you, how often, and what they should do next. All of this is part of your branding. This is all part of your reputation. All of this should be thought out prior to any campaign you run, because if you don't know who you are, what you stand for, why you're different, and what they should expect from you, you're not going to be able to establish trust and make a connection with them. And email is all about connecting, right? You're trying to build
Mhm.
rapport and trust. So you need to utilize, a proper branding framework, and you need to brand yourself utilizing questions, utilizing a good framework, a momentum-based branding framework that allows you to really hone in and attract the types of customers that will really benefit from the offers, products, services that you create. So here are some examples. You don't need to go through examples, but Rubio, for your sake, you can use these, study these, make sure you know them, make sure you can understand and the case studies and understand why all of these worked the way they did and what they did good, and also take note on what they could improve on. And digital market does such a great job at really painting a picture of all of the case studies that they do. So
Mhm.
really take a look at this and really understand how to properly set up an indoctrination email, and
Mhm.
you know kind of welcome people in the community. This is great for the newsletter that you're about to create for
Mhm.
you know for ICF. This is really good. So make sure that you take note of that.
Mhm.
There's a ton of examples and ton of case studies. So digital marketer, like I said, really great stuff. You can go ahead and click on the links if you want to see more about the brands that they have worked with. Engagement emails. This is where you start to make offers, and this is where you start to convert prospects into customers. So this is all about engaging, causing a trigger, provoking an emotional response. This is where you have to understand the 3 fundamental rules of selling. And I feel like I'm going to be repeating myself because all of this goes back to branding. All of the in branding, momentum-based branding is based off the universal rules of marketing. And all these universal rules, I'm going to completely continue to say this over and over again. I can feel it. This applies to everything that you do in digital marketing. If you're going to be converting prospects into customers, you're gonna have to engage with them in a way that is most appropriate, right? So you're gonna want to like provoke an emotional response. You're gonna need to get into their heads a little bit. And best way you can get into their heads is by knowing your own identity, because it's a law of attraction. It's that you are what you attract, or you attract who you are. Like like the type of people that want to work with you, the type of people that like you are going to be people who share your values, people who share your ideas, people who like your ideas, people who stand up for the causes that you like to stand up for, people who share the same mission, who are in in a certain place in their life where your offer just fits best, and working with you is just the best option because you're just like them. And the best way to do that is by understanding 3 fundamental rules of selling, and they are: don't make people feel like they're being sold to. Make sure, don't try to sell them. Be their friend. Talk human to human, not B2C, B2B. Make their decisions seem rational, because most of the time the type of decisions that they make, especially buying decisions, will always be impulsive. We're all guilty of impulse buying, and I know that for a fact. I know, Rubio, you impulse bought, right? You've bought things on multiple times. So have I. So impulse buying is a common behavior amongst us, but what you want to do is justify and rationalize it, make it seem like the most rational thing possible. I know it kind of seems a little bit, and I could see why people say this, like they think that marketing is very much a predatory industry, and it's got that type of reputation because people tend to exploit people's emotions, to sort of sell them on something that they don't necessarily need. But there is a certain type of marketer, especially like us, that, what we really should be trying to do as a digital marketing agency is provide value to our customers. That's what separates inbound from outbound, is that, you're attracting them because you're offering a solution. You're acting more like a doctor than you are a salesperson. You're acting like a friend offering advice, a consultant, rather than a salesperson. Because nobody likes a salesperson, but everyone likes a friend. Everyone likes a shoulder to lean on. So everybody likes somebody who's going to offer them help and offer them a solution to a problem or that they face, or offer them a way to achieve a goal. Like I said, if they see a client that's actually succeeding with SEO, and they are getting moderate results or modest results, you're going to want to offer them PPC so that they can, benefit off that good SEO. So that's the second fundamental rule of selling, is to make it seem as logical as possible, and then so that they can justify their emotions towards buying it. And the third fundamental rule of selling, which ties into number 2, which is what I'm trying to say, is that make them feel good about what they buy. Buyer's remorse is no bueno, and it's bad for word of mouth marketing. So make sure that whenever you provide them with, actually does help them. If it does not help them, then do not do it. And be honest with them, be transparent, and tell them what's really going on, because you really have to, this stuff is not easy. I know that it's not easy, but claiming that it is, or claiming that just anybody can do this, or all that, it takes a lot of work and a lot of passion and a lot of, drive and grit to really succeed in digital marketing, because there are so many technical factors. Like I said, it's like a lot of people want to boost posts at their convenience, but don't understand that they can build and generate an experiment that will efficiently get them more conversions for less than what boosting a post or maybe producing one ad might do for them, and putting a ton of money in one ad might do for them. So like, for example, we had this one client, or we have this one client that, what is it, that was overspending on their budget with Facebook ads. They doubled their so they spent double as much as we spent once we came on, and we got more conversions with half of what they got, what they were spending, by A/B testing and properly setting up an experiment to improve their results and scaling the numbers up and efficiently spending rather than dumping all of our money into one ad. Don't put your eggs in all in one basket. That should be the same for engagement emails. Don't put all your eggs in one basket, and make sure you test with different types of engagement emails. When you're setting up your segments and you're setting up your experiment and you're putting people down into wherever they're supposed to be going, make sure that you have content that, or something of value that you can present to them that's going to actually push them to convert and actually help them or produce a result of some kind. Validate your results. You want to validate your results ultimately and prove that your email marketing campaign or your machine is working.
Mm-hmm.
So universal laws of digital marketing. I love the idea because momentum-based branding is everything, and that sets the tone. Another case study with HubSpot in terms of an engagement email, setting the expectations, understanding what kind of value they can receive. There is a lot of good things about this email. They provide them with hyperlinks, and also, there are tools out there where you can record or use specific links to track how and measure which links they click on within emails. So that way you can set up an experiment with multiple variables within one email, say within your general campaign, and start segmenting off your users. And then you will know which link or which piece of content is most effective in converting, because you can see which one's more appealing and what your target audience, what problem your target audience really needs help with. And then you can offer them more value and further down the funnel, and then ultimately get them to convert. And this will also help you understand what your niche is and what you should be focusing on as a company in order to really help your market. So like car abandonment as being part of an engagement email. So like they, what is it? They abandon their cart, make sure to engage with them. So that way you can continue to push them down the funnel. Sorry, I got a notification about a meeting. I'm going to try to wrap this up in the next few minutes. So always try to get them to engage. Number 3, the ascension emails. I think I covered enough of the ascension emails. Essentially, every offer should offer enough value to make them wanting more. Think of it like a springboard. If you give them a little bit of results, and then if they like the results, if you give them a little bit, they're going to want more, right? I mean, that's just human nature. You get you get a little bit of candy, you want more candy. You get a little bit of money, you want more money. You get a little bit of something, you want more of it. Once, if you like it, of course, and you build that connotation, you make that emotional connection, you justify that emotional decision with a logical explanation, and without trying to sell it to them, they're gonna want to buy more from you, because that connection is going to be solidified and those values are going to be set in place, and they're going to want to continue to do business. So this is, I think I went over the upsells, understanding how you can add more value to what they're already doing, setting in place, really truly understanding their businesses so that you can set in place provisions that actually will get them to convert towards buying products that actually, bring their ascend or bring their company into a new level of success. So ascension. Think about it that way. You're trying to help them level up by offering them something, an add-on, something of value that adds on to the previous offer so that they can have more than what they had before. And that's why I call it momentum-based branding, because if you build momentum-based branding, it's a snowball effect. A little bit of results will eventually lead to a lot of it, and eventually it's exponential. So it's honestly, I got a lot of the idea of I got the ideas putting together a lot of stuff. Read Growth Hacker Marketing if you haven't already. Rubio, I still need to get you a copy. So don't worry about that. Segmentation emails. This is pretty self-explanatory. The segmentation email is to get your prospect to raise their hand and show interest in something you sell. So this is like the links. And like I just explained earlier, you can do this within an engagement email as well. That's what it says right here. When they do, they will be placed in an appropriate engagement series. So yeah, so like I said, in the engagement emails, putting multiple links in order to A/B test different types of content or different types of offers to kind of see what's most appealing, or to identify what problem is really going to help your or what problem that you can really help solve within your market. This is what segmentation emails are for. So here are some more case studies and how they are used. A short video, watch this video now. What is it? And that's like, once they already are in the segmentation series, then you focused on that product itself and that problem, and you hone in on that problem so that way they can solve that problem or get to what they want. If it's Marriott Rewards, they get that vacation that they've been waiting for forever. Time to get out of the house because COVID has got everyone down. Segmentation. Remember segmentation because they're really impactful. Re-engagement and win back emails. This is for anybody who has either like someone you've done business with in the past who has not really been around, who hasn't been opening any emails and anything, or like these are just old clients. And this is something like, hey, we noticed that we haven't really spoken a while since, we launched your website. Let's say this is for all your web clients, people that you build websites for. It's like, and you haven't touched base with them in a while, and you want to see if they're interested in, building their social online presence because they haven't really been focusing on building out their Facebook pages. You segment them off to their specific segment, and then you send out an automated email to all of them and say, hey, first name, make sure it's automated, and you put in the appropriate automation. Whatever automation program, make sure you use appropriate technique in order to automate that. First name, I know we haven't really talked since launching your website, but on your behalf, we went ahead and conducted a social media audit on your social media on your Facebook page, and we see that you're not really driving a lot of traffic to your website. Not driving a lot of traffic to your website using it. So we think that now with your website launch, that this is a good opportunity for you to start creating content or having someone manage your social media page so that you can generate more traffic to your website, and therefore get more people on your landing pages or your website and converting through a good user experience. Because I'm sure if you built them a website, you did it custom, nice UI UX, good branding, hot colors for the CTAs. If it's got good UI UX, it should do its job. So, you can frame a re-engagement email to sort of, always add value to something that you've worked on previously in the past, win them back, and, get them interested in something else. But like it kind of doubles as an extension email. It's like saying like, hey, we noticed that you're not really utilizing your Facebook page. How would you like more traffic to your website? We can manage your Facebook page for this much monthly, and we can make sure that we can meet the goal, any type of traffic goals, or put any focus on any one of your products and build a campaign around it so that people become more interested in that service. It's really that simple. So yeah, don't leave money on the table. It's all like, don't leave money on the table. This is not sale. I know, like, marketing is not the marketing is sales. Regardless of what people try to say, marketing is sales, because you're selling people through digital means, and you're using digital means to present offers to people and sell them on an idea without actually having to speak with them until they either schedule an appointment or a phone call, or submit or reply to an email, and then you physically have to respond to them. So ultimately you're selling them on something. So don't leave money on the table. Try to, stay connected with your customers, retain your customers. And once your project is finished, there's always going to be more work that needs to be done when it comes to marketing. You're going to need to build more complex strategies. So email marketing should be utilized to present the numerous opportunities that can go alongside whatever you sold within marketing. And you should create an integrated marketing plan based off a momentum-based branding model, and allow them to compete and win within their market, become authorities like they truly want to be.
Mm-hmm.
Some more case studies on how to do win backs. Netflix, come back today and get another free trial. So when people cancel their Netflix accounts, we'll give you another. We miss you over here at Netflix. You miss all of the cool ratings that you did to that awesome show that you like to watch on repeat multiple times. We're here to give you another free trial if you're up for it. And bam, you win back a new user, and then you can probably sell them, get them hooked on a new TV show on Netflix, and then they're paying for more content moving forward. So that is a win back campaign. You're trying to add value to whatever, offer them something, win them back, put them back into the engagement series, and start the process all over again. So how to get started. So it starts by understanding the 5 stages. Like I explained, 5 different stages, how they're used and how they coexist with each other, and how some of them overlap, and how they commonly behave, and how you properly set up an experiment, how you properly test. So really, it's just understanding the intention of the email to really determine what phase or stage of the email marketing funnel that each email exists within a series.
It's 3 o'clock.
It depends on the intent of the email that you're sending. So ask these questions. Can an indoctrination campaign produce more engaged prospects that are eagerly awaiting your next email? You always want to build anticipation. You always want to the next project should always be bigger and better than the one before it. That's just standard rule of thumb. Don't release something bad after you release something extremely great. I know they say sequels are, awful compared to the original, but it is totally possible to create a better sequel. So I'm going to make a lot of illusions. So make sure that you're leaving people in anticipation. Should you build an engagement camp series to revive an old product or service? Maybe you do want to bring something back. Maybe you do want to generate more interest to your first book. Maybe your second book is selling pretty well, but you want to introduce more people to the series. So you want to do an engagement series to reintroduce the old book into a cold market, and then they can read books 1 and 2 and then eagerly await book 3, and then you can indoctrinate them whenever you launch that campaign. So sorry about that. You can indoctrinate them into that campaign. So could you squeeze more ROI from your customers with an incentive series? Of course you can, by offering more value and helping them get a return on investment. every single digital marketing agency should be working on a pay to performance model. I don't care big or small, they should be somehow proving that they can perform. And if really, you should know what you're doing, really educate yourself, really be about the ROI, because ultimately that's what we're hired for. And yeah, you can squeeze more people. You can squeeze more people. You can squeeze more ROI from your customers, like I said, by adding more value, like the example with the SEO. Can you make relevant, high converting offers to your list by sending a segmentation email? Of course you can. So if you segment your emails and you isolate your variables, isolate the data, of course you're going to increase your conversion rates. In a generalized campaign that speaks to everyone, your conversion rate is going to be lower than a segmentation created, targeted at a specific persona that's interested in solving this specific problem. That is just a fundamental rule. That goes for any type of ad you run. Make sure you're segmenting your audiences and make sure you know who you're pitching to. Segmentation is everything. Buyer personas, use them. Would a re-engagement and win-back strategy bring 5, 10, or 15% of your list back to buy? It can, if you offer the right product or service. So you want to drive more traffic to the website. If you can present it in a way that builds value and treat it like someone like an ascension email saying, and build value on whatever you sold to them previously, you can win them back. It's like, with Netflix, really miss having you around. You were rewatching Friends a million times. And yeah, do you want to, kind of watch Friends again? We'll give you another free trial. So yes, on all accounts. So you can access a free training here, Rubio, if you want to go through and build out a process map for building your machine. If you want to do that for ICFSA, that will work out splendidly. So in conclusion, consider the purpose of each email you send. Make sure make sure what it's intended to accomplish. So like I said, intention is everything with every email. That's going to determine the phase of the machine that it ultimately lies in. Applying the stage of the machine will increase the effectiveness of your email marketing. So yes, of course, segmentation is important, and applying them to, applying every single rule that I just mentioned throughout this entire presentation, yes, it will make you unstoppable, because as long as you're providing value, you're truly understanding your audience, you're building a reliable experiment, you're validating your results, you're building momentum, you're adding value to things that you've created in the past, and you're delivering a stronger, stronger product that you then previously released, and you're innovating on the machine rather than just letting the machine run and forgetting about it. Yes, you will be unstoppable, because innovation, it brings ultimately a higher ROI. You should always be innovating on whatever processes that you're doing. So that is it for this. Rubio, do you have any reflections over what I just covered throughout the entirety of this presentation?
No questions. It's just interesting to see, like, for example, like the retention, or like reacquisition, really, like sending those emails like, hey, here's another free trial, or, it's just interesting to see the different methods at the different points of the process.
Yeah, it's all about knowing the right tactical, you got to have it's all strategy and understanding what tactics will work, and having a tactical mindset, really understanding the macro, the overall big picture, and setting up your experiment, and understanding the micro in the segmentation and isolating the variables to take the data so that you can ultimately improve upon your click-through rates, your conversion rates, and therefore make a higher ROI using email. So that's it for this. I guess take everything you learned from this, and we'll go ahead and get started on that email campaign that we have so eagerly been awaiting and planning out for the past like 3 days or a week.
Mhm.
I don't know how long we've been doing it. But anyways, yeah, let's get started.
Cool.
Okay. That was long.
Yeah.
But like I said, it's like I'm going to be repeating myself a lot because there are fundamental rules to everything. And see your dog behind you too. That's funny.
Yeah, sorry.
I got a lot of calls there because I was supposed to be on that call.
Yeah, are you supposed to be in a meeting right now?
Yeah, I was supposed to be in a meeting, but I went over. I'm just going to call him right now and tell him that I should be good. We're going to have to cut all of that out. Oh, we're still recording.